Live and live.
Hello, good afternoon. You're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Galextra and Andraggon on YouTube Live.
Greetings and blessings to you. We're here coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, at our temporary shelter hotel called Travel Lodge Bonaventure, where we're sounding the alarm about first our technology that has vast fourth dimension capabilities, COVID-19 pandemic, and second, to continue to inform you about Donald J. Trump to attack, terrorize, torture, torment Avatar Galextra inside this current place where we've been staying since November of last year on a daily and nightly basis above the room where we're staying in, wearing the same cloak of invisibility that is being used by a squadron of thousands of American agents to commit the global genocide against the entire human race today. So we are asking for Donald J. Trump and stop from using it to come and attack the Avatar and her family as owed to this family by both nations because of the massive amount of crimes that have been committed against the Avatar and her family since she was born. And we're asking Donald J. Trump to go and get a life somewhere else instead of coming into a place unseen and attacking and terrorizing a woman while hiding behind the cloak of invisibility created with a healing technology the great goddess created, terrorized, and the media, the police, politicians, FBI, CIA, any place we've contacted so far, they tell us that there's no such thing as cloaks of invisibility, and we are found with either mentally with mental health issues or that we have an overactive imagination. But we are sharing experiences with you that are real, painful, wounding, and terrorizing. And so far, Donald J. Trump continues to attack the Avatar as if no one can stop him from doing so, as if he has a right to do so, as if he's some kind of a god because he's using that technology created by the supreme being, a modified version of it, against another god. So if he continues to terrorize his family, and if the US government does not pay the massive fine owed to the Avatar and her family, and if the US government does not discontinue the use of this technology, then the dream that the Avatar had as a 5-year-old child of seeing oceans currently surrounding them, that dream hold inside the three waters surrounding them, and become nations that no longer exist. And the hundreds of millions of mortal beings living inside these two nations will also end up losing their mortal lives. And it's a vast number of them. And all because the US government insists on using that technology stolen by 2 men of science from the Avatar's birth country that we used to restore Lady Gaia's body back to health, from all the pounding down to her body during World War II, daily and nightly, and then using the same technology as a weapon to commit a massive number of crimes against different nations, against Lady Gaia herself, against the Avatar and her family, and currently infecting about 170 million people with the same technology and killing about 3.49 million human beings from inside the fourth dimension, wearing cloaks of invisibility that scientists cannot identify, has no interest or equipment or ability to actually detect or to identify because they are completely unqualified and unequipped to study anything in the fourth dimension. So here we are, speaking out, asking you, the people, to start to speak to each other, to your governments, to your different communities, different media people. Let them know that to make sure that the nation you're living inside of, by the Committee of Gods in May 15, I think, of 2018, by the Committee of Gods. So far, the gods are watching and waiting to see what these students do. And if they continue to meet these rulings that they've passed, then American Canada will disappear inside these three oceans as if they never existed in the first place. To be forewarned, as the Avatar of the gods have told me, is also to be truly forearmed. Avatar, how are you?
Okay.
Good. How are you feeling?
Uh, I am in extreme pain because I have been attacked in every bone in my body, including my kneecaps, under my feet, my mouth, my hair, my eyes, my ears. What we did not understand is why he kept coming and following us wherever we went and attacking me on the way and back, doing damage to our daughter, raping her, cutting off her hair, leaving her without any kind of rights to be able to be protected, or not to harm her. She was properly brought up.
Child master.
Yeah. Very well caring about other people, knowing that all beings are our family. She treated people in the manner in which they were family. And she was being mistreated by Mr. Trump. I'm being attacked on this shoulder right now, and just now on this one. And before, he was using this technology to pull every bone in my body, and I was in extreme pain, and I'm still in extreme pain right now. He's been attacking me in the head with this knife, electric knife, or something like to that port, yeah.
Yes.
And pushing it into my
the cavities
skull
of the brain.
Yes, and causing me extreme pain, and it gives me aggravating. If you don't understand, if it's being done to you, you'll find out that you'll actually feel so angry that you feel you would like to take him apart. This is not something that I ever felt in my life about anybody. I've cared about all beings because they're my family. I'm not here to harm anyone. I'm just here to give knowledge that would be beneficial to everyone. We can't have kids going to school systems without being trained by their mom and dad. Men would not be raping people if it were not for the fact that to control women, they do not do what the man wants. This is not right. We are not. We are the ones who gave these men lives and women, children, and then turned around and making remarks and saying things by the systems that I raped my little sister. These are things that did not happen. And these are lies that were sent specifically from the United States to make sure that people see me in a way in which I do damage to babies. No, I have never done that in my life. I don't. They are our family. You know, I did not come to this world to be treated in such a manner. I don't treat people badly. I'm angry because of what has been done, the lies that have been told. And then they set up the people to believe what was being said about me so that they can now mistreat me wherever I go. And these are the kind of things that have been there. When you're living in a place where all people need to do is to treat each other with respect and dignity, we won't be doing all this way to move. Then what we're setting up ourselves, other people to do is destroy each other. And this is what I'm seeing happening to men and women. And men, I don't hate you. I don't like some things that many of you have done. I do not like the fact that the government and the systems have rallied against all of you to be able to control women. And women should not be behaving affection that their mom and dad would give them without harming them or doing any bad things to them. I could never do that to a soul. And I'm sad to see that the American government would think and behave as if we have no rights to be able to live without doing what they. It's not fair. You know, people are killing and putting, and they end up in jail. The system's killing people, and they're getting away with what they're doing, and no one seems to care.
Mm.
And these are things that does not help anybody. As a matter of fact, it destroys the most beautiful people in the world. People who can working, you need to spend time at home looking after family too, and you're not being allowed that freedom. These freedoms that are naturally yours are being robbed from you, and you're ending up working night and day, many of you.
Mm-hmm.
We could not even get the police to help us to stop Mr. Trump because he is using the cloaks of invisibility and going on doing all kinds of damage to me and other people. And many people are not even aware of what is happening to them that is coming from this man. This is not the way in which people are supposed to live. We are supposed to be there for each other in the right way so we can be trusted by everybody and everyone can feel safe because we are trained properly, because we care about each other and we do the right thing for our kids, and our kids are going to do the right thing for their kids. And when we meet each other, we can connect properly without harming anyone. We don't have to think we are superior to anybody. We are the ones who recognize that we are equals forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you can become the best beings that you can ever find because you were born from gods. Not to behave as in a vicious manner and mistreat children, mistreat adults, mistreat your husband and your wife, mistreat the community itself. Once you're trained properly, you don't have those problems. Those excuses would not appear with people being harmed. Why people are harming each other, sorry. But as human beings, we need to learn to love ourselves, learn to care about each other, your children, your family, even the people out there, they're your family too. You just don't realize it.
Mm.
And because they're mistreated, they assume that everybody will mistreat them and they mistreat other people in the process. So we need to terroristic.
Mm.
You are our family. We're not here to play games with you. And I love you all for the reason that you are a part of all of us, and we are a part of all of you. And you can work together without harm included. They're very beautiful human beings.
Mm.
And if you them and treat them well, you see that beautiful baby coming out as an adult after a period of time and doing beautiful things instead of things that harm anyone. It's when we persecute and terrorize them, it's happening. So please be careful in how you treat each other. Protect and respect the person you have, because if you marry them, it should be for the rest of life. And if you're not, you're going to destroy the marriage. It's because you're behaving irresponsibly, or somebody's in the family is doing the same, is that doing that same kind of stuff. And we have to look at everything from a point of view that we are each other's keepers. We care about each other.
Mm.
And the only way we can show that care is respect and dignity for ourselves and for each other. What we want for ourselves must be given to others too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's what shows them how they can conduct themselves, how they feel about themselves, because we love them and they love us. So instead of us fighting and doing damage to others, let us do the good fight. Love each other. Be there for each other. Don't hop on foot to the next person and the next person, because when you do that, you're literally setting a pace of behavior that is going to cause society to just fall apart in all directions.
Mm.
We don't want killers. We don't want persecutors. We want people who are genuine, caring, respectful to babies and all forms of life. Us too.
The future belongs not just to the babies and the generation that is the younger generation. It belongs to everyone, because as immortals, we keep coming back to classroom earth lifetime after lifetime to learn, live, grow, bloom,
And
blossom,
love.
love, experience life, so that we can become the kind of fully developed human being into existence and not being terrorized by a demon, jackal-headed demon named Donald J. Trump with the body of a human, a giant cockroach, attacking the God. who's here to bring you solutions to the problems that you've been struggling with for ages. Identity inside your hearts and minds, hidden from you by those who have made themselves lords and masters over your lives from the cradle to the grave.
Excuse me. Not setting up people to dress in provocative ways that is causing problems for the younger kids, the adults, and for females in general.
Mhm.
Not doing things and saying things to people that you know very well is not fair and insulting and degrading. Trying to do the things that are beneficial to yourself and everybody else. If you know you're doing something you don't like, do it. Change it. Change it to something better that you can help others with.
Mm.
And protect the kids as if they're your own, because all kids need to know that they're loved and cared for. We're all their family. We can care for them properly is by being caring, respectful, and truthful. Something that will help those children. You want to teach them baby things. Growing up as they grow older and older, they get better other training in more developed areas, and they're all capable of quality. Please remember, because they don't look the way you do, does not mean that they should be treated badly if it's not looking good to you. It's important that we stop the prejudices. It's not working for anybody. As a matter of fact, it's destroying too many. And after a period of time, everybody will fall prey to that kind of behavior. And those who are running the country has to be careful not to take advantage of people like so.
Yes.
I saw African men and children being shot at, killed. I saw how the government treated them and how they treated my own children, my son, our daughter, our son, and our daughter.
Yes.
Whether they're kids or adults, they don't know other people's children. They're all our kids.
Yes.
We are supposed to be there for them, not turn on them and treat them like they're junk. They're human, beautiful human beings. Please care for them. And as time goes on, you will see things blooming in ways in which you would be surprised. You'd be proud to know that all these beings are part of a more stretched level.
Extended.
Extended,
Yes.
thank you.
Metaphysical,
Yes.
spiritual,
Emotional.
psychic, emotional.
We must be caring, not harming. And we shouldn't prejudge. Sometimes people are angry, not because they're bad people, but simply because of what has been done to them in their lives. We have to look at these things in such a manner. I really like some of the radio programs we have inside of here.
They're like CHFI.
They're like your little family. You know, they care about you. They're saying that and they're showing that. And you care about them too, but you can't tell them that because you don't have the mic and the stuff to be able to tell them. But they're beautiful human beings. And it's a rare thing to find radio stations with such care and respect for other people. It's a beautiful thing. And I love them like nobody's business. Knocked out and being persecuted in the streets, in grocery stores, and department stores, no matter where I go and wherever I go.
Blacklisted from
Yes.
the workplace for decades.
Yeah. I went to movies.
Yes. Retail industries.
Yes. And
Security.
yes. Modeling. Different things. And
Yes.
I love working with people, but I found that after a period of time, I just couldn't others doing different things. But we need to start looking at what we're doing. We need to be there, train our children ourselves. And then when we're going to work, make sure that we give our children most of our time, because the kids will need to grow up properly and they'll need their mom and dad because other people are not giving them the kind of care and respect that they have a right to, whether children or adults. You know? And these are the things that I'm worried about. But I also want to see if there are systems there, something they did not do. And that's what they did to my son. And I'm disappointed that that was done. That's prejudice that is taking place. And we have to get rid of prejudices. It's the most evil that you can find anywhere in this world. Get rid of the prejudices, you'll see how happy people can be. And they will show you their true selves. They're being forced to become prejudiced.
Yes.
By things that are being said to them.
taught to them,
Yes.
shown to this as adults, embracing these vices they can't get rid of because they're told that human nature is messed up, imperfect, and they can't fix it. So they are taught just to go along with the condition that they're living inside of and leave it to the gods to solve the problems for them, or leave it to the scientists to tell them how to live because science is now the new.
That's sad.
Yes,
But
it is.
also, too, churches have to stop mistreating human beings and depending on money from these people all the time.
Mm,
They have to start realizing these people are not a pocketbook with load with money. They're people who are trying to survive. Many of them don't have money to look after themselves.
mm,
I would like to see if they have churches that they use the churches to help the people, not to hurt them, not to set them up to turn against other people. Because many of the people that are going to churches are behaving irresponsible.
mm.
And it's something that we need to look at and deal with because a lot of people are being harmed. I was harmed. I went through hell for years, didn't have anyone to turn to get help from.
Mm.
Right now, I'm in extreme pain from my head to my toe because I'm being attacked and abused by Mr. Trump
Repeatedly.
night and day.
Hmm.
Our daughter, he's putting scab on. And in the past, of course, I told her she was raped and also gained weight because he used her money to buy food and force fed her. And
Yes.
because she was scared of him, she had to do whatever he was telling her. And we were sleeping. We did not even know until the following morning that she was raped and
Mm.
all these different things that was happening. We could not understand. We had dogs that this man terrorized.
Mhm.
I mean, they were
Jaja and
beautiful little
Yes.
puppies too. And they just terrorize them for no reason. Follow us wherever we go. It's to be treating people. It's the wrong thing to do. He can do better. And people should not be telling men and women to behave irresponsible. Then leave them alone.
Mm.
The right thing to do is treat people with respect. Treat the children and the adults with respect. You will find a beautiful world around you, and you'll find yourself living better. You'll find yourself being able to meet and greet people. You would not feel afraid because they might do wrong to you,
Mhm.
because they will be well cared for and looked at and respected by the community. Be there for yourselves and each other,
Mm.
and you are creating a world that will be doing.
Of Lady Gaia
Yes.
for everyone,
Hmm.
regardless of the differences in race, color, class, creed, gender, and more.
Yes. But please don't harm anyone. It's too much to bear. I'm going through pain right now from my head to my toe.
Mm.
I would pay the retribution, do what is right.
The
We have no money.
compensation.
They blocked me from my work, which I enjoyed, movies and so, and other things that I was, my outfits for me being who I am,
Spiritual master.
spiritual master. I'm an avatar, and all I wanted to do was make my outfits, wear them, ashamed or feel uncomfortable with. These are outfits that are there to let you know that there's a sacred being around, as many of you are, once you understand how to use the qualities that you have.
Mm.
And find yourself helping each other. And this is what I'm here to do, not to take advantage of anybody, but recognize that when I'm taken advantage of, as well as my family, that there are things that has to be done to stop the problem because now we have nothing to live for. We have no money. And the money that has to be given to us from the hell that we've been put through, for me, for so many decades in the United States and then in Canada.
Since birth.
Since I was born, even in Trinidad,
Mhm.
true. I forgot those.
That's okay.
You know, a lot of different things I went through. And
The life of living
yes,
hell.
quite true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just want to live my life and be them to ever think I don't care about any of them because I do. The only thing is I'm sad. There's some people that need help and I need that money in order so that I can help them too.
Millions and millions of people of color, especially, living in a state of deep, impoverished, oppressed,
Troubled.
unjust,
Yes.
troubled, desecrating existence with no vision of a future that they can actually live their lives with dignity, grace, abundance, and more.
Yes, these are some of the things that has been done to me. See my hands, dark, all there. This is what was done by Mr. Trump, putting black stuff on my body. I had to take a lot of problems to try to get rid of all this stuff, even at the side of my face and so on. To take all these black spots that are being put all over my body is not good. My husband had it too.
Every day.
And, it should not be done. Why would you like someone to come and cut off your hair to see to it that nobody likes you because you're African and do not have any hair after this man chop off all my hair that was way down past my waist?
Thick and bouncy.
Yes. And if you see it now, you'll be surprised. Dear to me, by what was done, it should not have been done. And I've been terrorized all of my life in the United States and in Canada. So has my daughter.
Yes.
Our son is missing. Our daughter's sister, very much so. She misses her brother. We want to see them because they are our intimate family.
We gave birth to them.
Yes, we did.
Our son
That's
and
what
to
I
our
mean.
daughter. You gave birth.
Yeah.
I helped with the initial process.
Yeah. But it's important to, and then killing out kids in the United States for being African. That's not right either. Many people were killed by police that was set up by the United States. And this should not have been going on. And they should have more sympathy for the rights of all beings. Too much prejudice is controlling the world. And the rights of the people is being blocked. On that word, I would let my husband speak if he wants to, because I'm finished. I've said all I want to say. I don't want to say anymore. It might make people feel worse.
We want you to understand the sense of urgency and emergency that you are now on course to experience as a nation in the US and in Canada. The people inside these two nations should be concerned, in fact, should be very fearful that the pronouncement made by the Committee of Gods, Avatar Galextra's sister and brother gods, billions of male gods and trillions of female gods, made the pronouncement to these two nations in email sent to them by a production company, Avatar Galextra Productions team, High Level Productions, crimes against the human race, the Avatar, Lady Gaia, other nations using a technology, a healing technology created by the great goddess and given a modified version of this technology to keep Lady Gaia from dying, as you mentioned before, pounding onto her bodies during the 6 years by the 39 nations who fought in the war to end our war called World War II. So we want you to understand that if these two nations, especially America, continues to attack the Avatar using Donald J. Trump, the jackal-headed demon, to do so, inside her womb, rectum, joints, pulling the kneecaps, pulling the hip bones in her back, attacking her eyes, nose,
mucus in the head,
mucus in the head, cutting off the eyebrows, fingernails to the clip, damaging her tooth, pulling different teeth here and there inside her mouth, trying to disable, dismantle, and destroy the body of a God, the one who lived as Lord Jesus, as Lord Buddha, as Lord Krishna, and the one who's also known as the great goddess, a woman of color, which is cowardly, irresponsible, criminal, and unacceptable. This demon, who is actually the Antichrist, for those looking for the Antichrist, is determined to make sure that the gods pull the nation of America inside the earth and Canada as well, because he came back to this planet from the life he lived as General George Patton, came back within like a few months after he passed away with a huge boulder, another chip on his shoulder, with intention of making sure America pays for taking his immortal life from him in his life as General George Patton, because of the wrongs he was doing, the intention that he had to basically embarrass the government at the time. So he's back and he's back with a vengeance, and he's doing all the ruthless, reckless, awful things you've seen him done over 4 years as America's president. Now he's trying to use his influence as the leader of the cause followers of his, who are now the base of the Republican Party. He's trying to use these tens of millions of racist, supremacists, and neo-Nazis to create and turn America into two nations where they go through another civil war. He started a civil war and established his twisted, demented, deluded vision of the world that he thinks people should live in and that he should be in control of. And so he's the most dangerous, reckless, ruthless person on the planet today, because he has access to a technology that allows him to go anywhere unseen by teleporting himself within seconds inside a cloak of invisibility and go anywhere and attack anyone, anytime, in any way, as he's been doing to the Avatar for over 45 years. We know that he's a sexual predator. Dozens of women have tried to file lawsuits against him for being sexually assaulted in different ways by him, and different companies are filing lawsuits against him. Different governments are filing lawsuits against him for stealing, deceiving, and robbing the nation of money that is owed to them. So he has a Pandora of jumpsuit, as Michael Cohen, his former personal attorney, said, and maybe some members of his family. So this individual, Donald J. Trump, continues to attack God, the great goddess, knowing that if he continues to do so, the gods are going to take the steps that they've authorized Lady Gaia to take May 15th of 2018 to pull the nation of the US and Canada inside our waters and basically rescue only those beings, the children, the mass number of children, and those with hearts of gold, adults, from this mortal, catastrophic ending that is on course to come to pass, as the Avatar showed in the dream she had as a 5-year-old, and which he was reminded of by Lady Gaia 20 years later when she felt the earth shaking under her feet and she felt herself being pulled inside the earth at some point in her lifetime. So we want the sense of urgency and emergency to be recognized and to be understood by the people living inside these two nations today, so that they can then fight like hell in peaceful ways to protect the mortal lives of their loved ones, the communities, and of the very nations they've come to value and treasure as their homeland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're here, fighting the good fight, fighting the good trouble, as a Congressman John Lewis, who was assassinated by Donald J. Trump, said before he passed away. So this family here.
Oh, by the way, they killed out my family. I forgot.
5 members of the Avatar's family were assassinated.
Yeah.
Mother, father, sister, brother, and another family member. And Donald J. Trump has killed the Avatar's mortal body 16 different times, according to information provided to me by a number of her sister gods. Every time they come to speak to me, because the Avatar is one of the most finely tuned and natural mediums on the planet today, that ever took place occurred on the day of Pentecost, when thousands of Christians had their bodies entered into by a spirit they called the Holy Ghost, and they started speaking different languages. So medium and mediumship is something which Christianity experienced more than any other group on this planet on that special day of Pentecost, as they call it. So the Avatar is not only so one of the most natural and finely tuned mediums on the planet today. November 5th, the broadcast called This Winter Will Be Hell for America and Canada, or the other 3 broadcasts where other members of Committee of Gods came and spoke for at least half the programs. they are doing so to let you know that this is serious. You have to understand the urgency and the sense of emergency that you're now faced with, moving into uncharted territories as a human race, where these two nations are on course to be pulled inside the water surrounding them by Lady Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature herself. In the near future, we don't want to see that happen to any nation, any people, any life forms. But if Donald J. Trump continues to attack a God repeatedly, relentlessly, inside the place we live in, outside, anywhere, that consequence that we speak of will come to pass in the not too distant future for America and Canada. So you've been warned, you've been forearmed and forewarned by the information we're sharing with you, the people, so that you can then start taking steps to make sure that this technology that's being used to create the global genocide that your scientists are calling COVID-19 pandemic is understood, examined. Crimes done to us for decades must be paid and paid in full. And that the nation of Canada and the US will obey and accept the ruling passed by the Committee of Gods for them to do the right thing and pay the fines imposed on them, and to stop using this sacred healing technology as a weapon to commit these massive crimes against the human race today all across the planet, and against the avatar by the jackal-headed demon. Live and nothing to do. Go and find something to do with your life, you moron. And that's putting it mildly. I'm her husband, and I can't do a thing to this unseen criminal. He comes here and attacks the avatar in her womb, her joints, her kneecaps, her head, her womb, her back. Everywhere he's attacking, unseen. Do this to a woman. A real man would never do anyone, especially a woman. That's why you're one of the biggest losers on the planet, because you have no conscience, no morals, ethics, integrity, values, anything worth keeping, or anything that people would consider virtues. You're virtueless because the vices have taken over your life, and you've lost everything. Attacking the being who's here to bring all of you together and save you from this global genocide that you've been told by your scientists is a virus. Clothes of invisibility from inside the fourth dimension by poisoning the mucus inside your body and creating a biochemical disease that is infecting about 170 million people so far, and taking the mortal lives of about 3.47 million immortals who have been pushed back to Summerland, that is the spiritual homeland, all the parted souls from this realm, heaven, utopia, nirvana, returning back to that place because they're forced to do so by these criminals who have decided that 1/3 of the human population have to die because the scientists have told you there's too many people living here. We are overcrowding and over-consuming the resources that Lady Gaia provides to us. And so they tell us that if 1/3 of the human race doesn't die, then the rest of us are going and fighting for the limited, depleted, dwindling resources. But as the Avatar, you're being forewarned again and again. So people, wake up, speak to your seer of the information we're given to you to verify or disprove any of it. Because if what we're saying to you is true, then the uncharted territory that you're now being pushed onto will come to pass inside these two nations in the new.
Blessings to all of you. We wish you all the best.
Mhm.
Be there for yourselves and each other. And you're being there for your world of all forms of life. Have a great day and a great life. And we love you all.
And if you like the content of what you've heard, if it resonates, even click onto the like comment if you find it information that is meaningful and empowering to you.
Yes.
Have a good day
And blessings.
and blessings to you.
Good luck. on your. Here's my old princess.